Well, hi there. Warm welcome. You're watching Blueprint Exclusive, and I'm Meghna Teka. Well, this evening, we are going to be putting out the spotlight on none other than the city of Bengaluru, where apathy seems to be the only guarantee. Well, I'm saying this because of unprecedented impact of the rains over the last 12 hours in India's IT capital, as we like to call it. A city of dreams, especially for IT professionals across India, also known as India's Silicon Valley, has now turned into a nightmare for them because of the rainfall. Look at these visuals on your screens, how the Silicon Valley has turned into a nightmare. The roads have turned into rivers. A disabled woman fell into a pothole on a waterlogged street in Bengaluru, prompting outrage over the city's poor infrastructure. The woman reportedly lost her balance due to the pothole. She fell over her bike trying to avoid a huge pothole filled with this rainwater. Look at this heart-wrenching visuals which are coming in. Well, in the second video that we are going to show for you, we'll show you how Times Now captured students struggling, trying to make it to school and college on time. With schools and colleges reopening today, students were seen wading through waist-high water as well, just to get to their school on time. This is how education too has been disrupted. The next video we bring to you will show you the rescue and relocation visuals of stranded residents, which was carried out, with several of the houses, especially in the low-lying area, being completely inundated. Of course, the NDRF, the SDRF, the fire and emergency services were all pressed into action. In fact, the visuals on your screen are from Yelahanka, where several residents of apartments were relocated using inflatable boats, as you could see on your screens as per sources. Well, water levels also reach heights of up to 3 to 10 feet in several of the gated communities of the locality. Easy for anyone to drown in this kind of weather. Well, in the next video, from Tata Nagar, angry residents can be seen confronting the BBMP Commissioner Tushar Girinath. Tense moments prevailed when the official inspecting the affected areas had to face the wrath of the citizens. Of course, the residents there demanded the commissioner to walk on the waterlogged roads to understand the gravity of their problems, to understand their issues, to walk on the roads that they are today being forced to walk. Then there is another video coming in from Bengaluru's Yelahanka again. Residents were seen fishing in waterlogged main road. Can you imagine? This is the glittering IT capital of India, where residents were actually fishing on roads in the city. Overnight showers had left several of these roads inundated, bringing vehicular movement to a complete grinding halt. But then came the worst of it all. The latest breaking which is coming in from a multi-story under construction building which collapsed. This has happened in Babu Sapalya area of Bengaluru. At least 9 people are still trapped. Unfortunately, there's already a report coming in that one person has lost his life in this incident, while 5 people have been safely rescued. Look at these visuals on your screens. Times Now has managed to access the CCTV video of the moment of the collapse as well. The video you're watching on your screens are of the moment when the building collapsed following the heavy downpour. Let me go across to Shrija, who's joining us live from Babu Sapalpa, where this entire building collapsed. It was under construction. Shrija, can you tell us what happened? Heart-wrenching news that there's already one confirmed death.
Well, over the past few days, we've been seeing here in the city of Bengaluru how, heavy rains have been lashing. And this is amidst the rains. We see that this 6th-floor building has collapsed. If I could show you the visuals, I'm standing right next to the collapsed building. As you go closer to the building, you can clearly see how the chaos is almost, it's palpable. Rescue operations are currently underway at the moment as we speak. To also give you a fair idea, this was the ground floor. As per the police, they said there was a shed which was erected by the workers right here, and at least about 5, as I point this figure right here, there are 5 of them trapped, is what the police confirms to us. And moreover, we also see that at least 2 of them were rescued from this particular spot. A total of them, we understand from the police, 5 of them have been rescued. They've been rushed to the hospital, and treatment is also underway for them. More importantly, we understand from the police that one has been confirmed dead. And here we have with us at the moment as we speak, we have the MLA. Who's Basraj. So could you tell us about, what is the current situation? How many of them have been rescued?
Yeah, only one is there.
Okay.
So nine people.
Okay.
9 people we have rescued.
Okay.
So only one is there. He workers is told 16 total 16 is there.
16 people were inside.
Yeah. Yeah, another 6 is inside. I say expected.
Okay, and do we have any details about the builder, who the builder was?
No.
Have the
I
police?
don't want any detailed subject. Who is the owner? He's already BMP. I asked the engineers.
Okay.
So you take the every details of that, who is the developer, who
Okay.
build the house. So you will come back.
So you are the MLA of this particular constituency. Would you by any chance give us a prima facie? Was this by any violation the building constructed?
No, madam. See, we are coming only doing the job. My job is doing the developments. Not seeing the buildings.
That, of course, is
anything.
the
So we
MLA.
are
In
going-
fact, let me go across to Harish Bijuru also, who's joining us. Srinja, thank you so much for joining us with your ground report. Srinja is, of course, at the site of the collapse. We also have Harish Bijuru joining us, a brand guru. We will also be joined by Sandeep Anirudhan, the founder of Citizens Agenda for Bengaluru. Harish Bijuru, I'm going to come to you first. Just heard the blame game which is happening. In fact, earlier in the day, we asked the Deputy Chief Minister of Karnataka, D.K. Shivakumar. He said, I myself am stuck in the inundated roads and traffic jams. This is the state of the IT capital of India. Is apathy the only guarantee in Bengaluru?
Well, every monsoon or every cyclone season, Bengaluru takes a rain check. And I call it a rain check because, the ultimate auditor of good or bad work, the ultimate auditor of good or bad public work is the rain. The
Absolutely.
rain reveals it all. And I think that's exactly what's happened. And for the IT city of Bengaluru, I don't think this is welcome at all. We can't keep having it every year, repeat. It's eat, pray, love, repeat again. I think, Bengaluru has grown a little too big. It's time to demagnetize Bengaluru. It's time to ensure that this city doesn't grow beyond the level it has already touched. Because otherwise, disaster is what we're looking at. And I think the visuals that you see today are sad visuals. We don't want to keep repeating it. Every year, a deja vu. We don't want it in Bengaluru.
Absolutely. But Harish Bijuru, here's the problem. We've seen alternating governments come in. Governments have come, governments have gone. Nothing seems to have changed. BBMP today, even though it used to be one of the most cash-rich municipalities, today it had actually a budget, if I'm not mistaken, of around 12,369 crore rupees in this financial year. It's unable to even pay their contractors. That's the state it is in. Why?
Well, I'll put it this way. I do believe the problem is beyond the governments. The problem is beyond money. The problem is all about a city that has gotten beyond its bounds. I think, there is a line that says greed is good. I don't think greed is good. Bengaluru, it is time to stop greed. It is time to say this city cannot expand anymore. It's time to ensure that we demagnetize the city. And we need to respect nature for what it is. We can't keep cutting down our trees, putting up brick and mortar buildings all over, ensuring that drains, which are meant to be drains, don't remain drains anymore, construct on them. This business of doing just what you want doesn't go. Nature has a way of sorting it out. And I think this is nature's way of telling you. And nature is telling you that I'm doing a rain check on you, and I'm checking if your works are good. And I'm telling you that this city has grown too big. We are not a city that can host 1.5 million people at any point of time. I mean, I think we need to be talking of demagnetizing this city. Only solution, I'm sorry.
Only solution, it doesn't matter if governments come, if there is cash or not at the end of it. Bangalore is bursting at the brims, is what Harish Bijur is saying. Do stay on with us. Sandeep Anirudhan is also joining us. Now, Sandeep, we were just discussing how at the end of it, nothing really changes. Year after year, we see the same kind of problems, the same kind of civic apathy. At the end of it, many people would come and say, such has been the rain fury. Is it rain fury? Is this the nature's fault or is it man-made?
Meghna, this is absolutely man-made. Our political class are solely responsible for this mess. All because there is lawlessness at the top. They don't follow the constitution. They don't follow the rule of law. And this is what has caused this mess. The 74th Amendment was made a law 30 years back. We had 30 years to fix both our planning capacity, planning process, planning infrastructure, as well as the city government, which is supposed to be devolved, decentralized, elected, and unified. We have done neither of this. That's why we have zero planning in Bengaluru. We have zero governance in the city. And to top it all, we have extreme corruption. Most politicians are also real estate barons. Right now, if you go to Whitefield Ward's Twitter handle, you will see there is a case going on where a month ago, a serving minister has encroached on a Raj Kalve. He's flooding the entire area in Whitefield, upstream and downstream. Government has not taken any action. It's none less than the power minister of Karnataka, the Congress minister KJ George. Now, these people...
But Sandeep, when we ask the Congress, they say that the BJP is only taking political mileage out of all these issues. They say that they are turning this entire tragedy into political brownie points they want to score against the Congress.
One thing we need to get clear. When it comes to the mess the city is in, all parties are equally responsible because we had 3 decades to fix it after the 74th Amendment was passed. None of the governments fixed it because all of them wanted to continue their corruption. They put their own pockets ahead of the city's interest. They didn't build the systemic change that is required for the city to plan. We don't have a master plan. Every government that comes says we are going to make Bengaluru Singapore. Singapore has a 50-year master plan. We have a 0-year master plan. How are we going to become a Singapore? It beats me. How do these politicians even get this into their minds? And then our politicians always have bad advisors. The present city development minister, DK Shivkumar, he talks about tunnels. And he says it's because Singapore has built tunnels. Singapore built tunnels 30, 40 years back before they understood what sustainable development is. They stopped building tunnels. They moved to mass rapid transport. They canceled their tunnel projects. And DK Shivkumar says because they built it long back, we will copy it. This is the kind of, lack of intelligence, lack of advice. Why doesn't the government set up the Metropolitan Planning Committee that the Constitution advises? We should build our own capacity. We have urban planners. We produce thousands of urban planners every year. Why doesn't the government hire urban planners? I don't understand it. Why don't we master plan? Why don't we plan to save our environment? Why don't we plan to save our...
So, Sandeep, is that the problem? We are looking at knee-jerk reactions in retrospective. Something happens, a pothole kills a person, they will say, let's put a mound of sand on it so that we can sustain it for the time being. But repeatedly, is that the problem? Is that how we are trying to put a band-aid on a bullet wound?
Precisely, Meghna. The problem is we don't even put a band-aid. We give some wishy-washy excuses.
Right.
And we leave the city to suffer. Our political class just don't care. If we are looking for anti-nationals, we have to look in our own political class. We don't need any external enemies. Our politicians are sinking our cities, are sinking our country, are destroying everything in our country. If
it's
anyone
really
is
sad.
to blame, it is
So
the
it's
people we have
not
elected.
nature's fury, the mother nature's fury as many would try and dismiss it as. At the end of it, Bengaluru today, the reason why it is in this state is due to the apathy that it is drowning in. And unfortunately, it has been with successive governments. Well, thank you so much for joining us, Harish Bijur as well as Sandeep Anirudhan. Pleasure to have you on the show. And hopefully, along with Satta, there's also a little bit of accountability which comes into play. Well, with that, we are going to be slipping into a short break. Don't go anywhere.